All right, I'm gonna take you around the scallop edge of this quilt and show you a little bit how I deal with this area and then taking it around the fullness. So I've cut bias binding, which means you cut it on a 45-degree angle. You can look up lots of YouTube videos on how to cut bias binding. There are lots, but the great thing about bias binding is it stretches, so you'll be able to go around any shape pretty easily. So I got myself to this corner, so you can see I have a dip, the dipped part right here. And when I get to that corner, I stop with my needle down, and then I do a pivot. So I'm gonna just pivot, and I'm gonna stretch and hold this just a little, and I'm gonna twist it this way. Let me zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. Okay, that should work well. All right, so this is a slow process. So you're gonna turn, stop, needle down. I'm on a featherweight, so I kind of have to put the needle down. So I'm going to, oh wait, I've got a stiletto in my pocket. All right, so I'm going to use that stiletto so that my fingers don't need to get in there. Hold this down, and then just work my way around. And I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam. All right. Now I'm just going to take my fingers and curve this so slightly as I work around. The nice thing is it just does a natural curve on the bias. So you can see it's just naturally going around that curve as I move. I hand stitch on the back of my quilt, so I will do the hand stitching after I put it on with the machine. You can certainly machine stitch it on, but I just really like it with the hand whipped binding. I'm coming up to that next V, and when I get to this point, I'm going to stop right there with needle down, and then I'm going to pivot and then just position and stretch my fabric a little bit so I can get around that point. It's a lot of moving your quilt while you work. It's just moving and adjusting, moving and adjusting. Like I said, it's not a fast process. So I'm going to get to this point. Let's see if I can just point that out. So I'm going to come to about right there. And then I'm going to set my needle down, and then I'm going to pivot, move, and start working this other direction. The critical part of doing this is, set my needle, is making this bias binding, because bias binding has this stretch, and that's really, really what you want. So I'm going to pivot, move everything just a little bit. Kind of scrunch that in there, but keep it straight. You need a stiletto, get that in there to hold everything down, and then you're turned. And just keep going, just like you would. That's it, folks. Hope that helped you.